The world has never been equal on our globe. Just 3% of the world's wealth is controlled by the staggering bottom 70% of the population. Contrast that with the 8 richest persons, whose combined fortune represents the poorest 47% of the world's population. Contrary to what you may have heard, the top 1% isn't as wealthy as it may seem. All you need is a net worth of $700,000 to qualify as 1%. Although that sum is undoubtedly large, it is not even $1 million. You can't buy a yacht or a private jet with that type of wealth. In California, the average home costs little under $600,000, $615,000. Therefore, every homeowner in California can view themselves as part of the top 1% of people. The top 1%, or the billionaire club, are the ones who are purchasing these huge yachts and flying private aircraft. There are more than 2,200 American billionaires in the globe as of 2018, and their total wealth exceeds $9.1 trillion United States dollars. That amount exceeds the GDP of whole countries of some of the most developed nations on the planet, such as Japan, Germany, or the United Kingdom. And what's really alarming is that the amount of wealth controlled by billionaires has only increased. Their aggregate net worth was less than $1 trillion in only the year 2000, it was $7.67 trillion in 2013, and as of 2018 it has increased to above $9 trillion. In this video, we'll examine where you stand on this spectrum, or, better yet, where you should stand. Are you too young to be impoverished, or are you older than everyone else? You can always make changes if, let's instance, your financial situation isn't great because the power to do so is in your own hands. It's never too late to start saving or to make sure you're moving in the correct direction, regardless of how far along you are in your job or how far along you are in life. It's not particularly challenging to figure out your net worth. Much simpler as you may imagine. Draw a line down the center of a piece of paper. You must add up the whole value of your assets on one side. This includes the cash worth of your checking and savings accounts, the current market value of your investment accounts, if you have any, retirement savings, residences, cars, trucks, precious items like jewelry, and any of your other assets. Note your liabilities on the other side. Then, deduct your obligations from your assets. This includes your mortgage, vehicle loan, student loan, personal loans, credit card debt, the $500 you owe to a friend, and any other debt you may have. Your personal net worth is calculated as the total cost. Your sum could produce a net worth that is either positive or negative. If your net worth is negative, don't worry, everything will be fine. If they have college loans, are first-time homeowners, or are only now beginning to invest for the future, it's usual for people who are early in their professions to have a low or negative net worth. Congratulations, you are doing well if you are in your 20s and have no money. It's okay to not have any funds at this stage of your life, I'm not kidding. Let's be honest, your part-time employment would hardly be enough to cover your expenses if you are a college student with student debt, let alone pay it off. Do not be concerned, as the majority of 20-year-olds have a negative net worth. However, that doesn't imply you shouldn't budget and make wise financial decisions because frequently, you won't discover the effects of your financial choices until much later in life. If you are wise enough to begin saving even 5 to 10% of your salary while you are in your 20s, you will be well ahead of the average in less than 10 years. You should have at least 6 months of your income set up as an emergency fund by the time you are in your 30s if you want to be at least okay. If we use the typical household income, that comes to roughly $31,000, $30,698 United States dollars. However, if you want to stand out from other boys, you need save up at least a year's worth of wages. Emergencies do occur, and occasionally they even result in bankruptcies. Hundreds of thousands of people file for bankruptcy due to unexpected healthcare bills. So be cautious. Your average family's net worth in the United States under the age of 35 as of 2016 was $76,200, according to the Fed. The median is substantially lower, at $11,100, because a small fraction of wealthy Americans distorted this figure, making it inaccurate. It's simple to accomplish that. This figure is so low because, even though typical folks may have assets like a home and a car, their debts from student loans and mortgages would outweigh them. Don't worry. Once you start paying off your mortgage and student loans, your net worth will increase quickly. In a perfect world, by the time you reach your 40s, you should have saved at least 3 times your annual salary. For example, if you make $100,000, your figure is $300,000. However, most people find that to be extremely impractical. In fact, the Fed reports that the median salary for those in their 40s is just under $60,000, $59,800. At this point of life, most people have kids and a lot of debt to pay off. Therefore, it is advisable to perform better than average if you don't want to experience financial hardship. It's difficult to take care of a large family, especially when the kids get older. Your net worth should increase dramatically when you enter your 50s because you are also coming closer to retirement age and you need to plan for retirement if you want to have a decent retirement. 50-year-olds have a median net worth of $124,200. Though it's the median, keep in mind that the average is $727,500, which is significantly more. And 5 times your annual salary should be saved. Although saving this much money over a 30-year period may seem unattainable, even a tiny amount of your income will suffice. Additionally, the power of compounding will ensure that any money you choose to invest will quickly accumulate. Remember that you are not required to adhere to these numbers. If you put in a little more effort, you can retire in your 30s. Beyond your wildest dreams, there are possibilities. I always questioned why on earth some people were wealthy while others were impoverished. My parents insisted that everything was related to school. You'll achieve all of your goals if you work hard in school and earn good grades. That reasoning eluded me back then, and it continues to elude me now. School was monotonous. I made an effort to study, but I was never motivated to do well in school. Today, though, things have changed. The path to financial success is more obvious than ever. Even if you lack access to the richest people's knowledge or are too lazy to study books, everything on the internet is comprehensible and easy to understand. You already have it. You won't become wealthy by relying solely on money. Year after year, the worth of your money will decrease. Having assets that keep paying off is where true wealth is hidden. You will only become richer thanks to the power of compounding. 7% on $1,000 might not seem like much, especially if you're only making $70 a year from your assets. However, $700,000 is 7% of $10 million. Building the basis for your wealth is incredibly challenging, but once you do, it starts to grow on its own. Most people find it challenging to forego short-term pleasures in favor of financial security in the long run. Even if you earn 6 figures, you could need to live on a very strict budget. A little over $61,000 is the average median household income in the United States as of 2018. Long-term returns on investments in the stock market have been shown to be guaranteed at 10%, so you can guarantee yourself that typical household income with an investment of just over $600,000 and avoid working a single day of your life. Of course, that is only in theory, as humans must strive to give their life some sort of purpose, but you get the point. Nobody can claim ignorance of the principles of wealth creation. To maximize the potential of compounding, it's important to start as soon as feasible. It may seem absurd to focus too much about your 40s and 50s when you are in your 20s, but it is important to consider how quickly the past year has gone by. What about the past 10 years? Imagine how wealthy you would be today if you had started in 2010. Since time cannot be turned back, there is no purpose in harboring regrets about the past. However, you can choose differently now. I sincerely hope you all liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, click the bell next to the subscribe button, and subscribe so that the next video shows up directly on your homepage. With thanks until the next time.